I got married yesterday, she said at the moment she walked in. Then she sat down, collapsed into the chair, more like. Her back hunched forward, hands on her knees, eyes on the floor. She was crying, silently, tears running without stopping. But no sound, like she had forgotten how to cry. They just fell. Could I have a glass of water? Her voice was trembling. I handed her the water. She held the glass with both hands. Her hands were shaking. She took a small sip, then another. She placed a glass on her knees, still not looking at me. I waited. One thing you learn in this work, for some people, the hardest part isn't talking. It's starting. Are you hungry? I asked. She thought about it. Yes, she said. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday evening. I brought something. We sat in silence. She ate. Her eyes were still full. She'd wipe them. Then they'd fill again. She was wearing an ordinary tracksuit. Her hair was messy. Her eyes were swollen from crying all night. This was the woman who had been a bride. Yesterday, sometimes a person falls so completely apart, they don't even know where to begin. And that morning, behind Alicia, there was so much I didn't yet know. Would you like to tell me? I said gently. Alicia looked at her glass. I don't know where to start, she said. From the beginning, I said. Slowly. I keep saying from the beginning. But I don't know where the beginning is, said Alicia. Is there a name that comes to mind? I said, start wherever you want. Alicia thought. Jennifer, she said. Let me start there. Who is Jennifer? My closest friend. Or she was. She paused. If I had to describe Jennifer, I'd start with every summer. Since childhood, our families went to the same summer house. We'd go at the start of June, come back at the end of August. Her eyes drifted somewhere far. Everything was beautiful in those months. Breakfast together, the sea together, evenings together. We'd play games, listen to music, talk for hours. We even fell for the same boys every summer. We'd laugh about it and let it go. When summer ended, we'd go back to the city. Life would continue. But those months were just ours. Did that closeness continue as you got older? I asked. Yes, even when we lived in different cities. In my hardest times at university, I called her. My happiest news. I told her first. When I graduated, she came to my ceremony. I went to hers too. She paused. Something caught my attention there. What? A small thing. Maybe nothing. She rubbed her hands together. When her family said nice things about me, Jennifer's face would change. When she was laughing with her friends, she'd throw me a strange look. A second, maybe less. Then it would pass. What did you feel? I told myself I was being ridiculous. This is Jennifer. She's known everything about me for years. Why would she be jealous of me? Sometimes the people we know best hide things the best, because when you look at them, you're not expecting to see anything. Was there another visit apart from the graduation? I asked. One more time, before I started working after finishing university. I wanted a change of scenery. Come, Jennifer said. You'll meet my friends. We'll have a nice time. She paused. One evening we went out. That evening, Chris was there too. Tell me about that evening, I said. It was a nice place. Music people. Jennifer's friends came. We sat with them. She paused. Chris didn't really stand out in the group, but somehow he caught your attention. Calm, a listener, while everyone else was talking. He was watching. Did he notice you? He talked to me all evening about books, music, the city. The conversation flowed very naturally. How was Jennifer at that point? I asked. Alicia thought. She seemed normal. She laughed, joined the conversation. But at one point I looked over. She was quiet, looking at the glass in her hand. I don't think anyone noticed. You noticed. I noticed, but I didn't push it. Maybe she's tired, I thought. Or maybe she's bored. She looked at the table. Now I understand that look. Some things you can't see in the moment, because you have no reason to look yet. Alicia was simply having a nice evening. Nothing more. How did the evening end? I asked. We left late. I walked back with Jennifer. Chris is a really good person, I said. She just laughed. Yes, she said. Nothing else. Why do you think she didn't say anything? Alicia was quiet for a long time. Maybe she couldn't, she said finally. Maybe she didn't want to. She paused. I remember Jennifer came to my room that night. It was late. "Are you asleep?" she asked. "No," I said. She sat down next to me. "What did you talk about?" "Nothing. We just sat for a long time. Then she got up, said good night, and left." Her eyes filled. Now I understand what that silence meant. Sometimes the most important things pass without being said. And years later, when you remember that silence, it feels like the answer to everything was hiding right there. A few days later, I went back home. One ordinary morning, my phone rang. It was Chris. "How did things develop with Chris?" I asked. He called. A few days later, we talked, we laughed. Then he called again. She gave a small laugh. We became a couple in different cities. It was hard at first, counting the days, long phone calls, every visit feeling like a goodbye. How did Jennifer take the relationship? Alicia thought. She was supportive, or seemed to be. "He's a really good person," she'd say. "He makes you happy. That's enough." She paused. But sometimes when I'd mention Chris in conversation, she'd give a short answer. She'd change the subject. Back then I'd think she must have her own problems. Sometimes the most important signs come in the most familiar voices. But because you know that voice so well, you don't hear them. The long distance was hard, but the relationship grew. One day while looking through job listings, there was an opening in the accounting department of a software company in Los Angeles. I hadn't thought it was possible, being newly graduated in the distance, but out of nowhere, I got an email saying I'd been accepted and that they were expecting me for orientation at the start of the week. I called everyone one by one. The last call was a group call. Chris and Jennifer both answered, screaming with excitement. "I'm moving to Los Angeles," I said. They were so shocked. I can't describe the looks on their faces. "We'll never be apart again." I was so happy. She paused. There was a silence. Short, but I noticed. "What did you say to that silence?" I asked. "What's wrong? Aren't you happy?" I said, laughing. And "Great news," they said. Both of them, almost at the same time. Her voice flattened, but their tones were different. Wait a moment. Two people saying great news at the same time. But to Alicia's ears, it only sounded like happiness, because she has no reason yet to suspect. "How was it after you moved?" I asked. "Beautiful. The three of us spent so much time together. Breakfasts, dinners, weekends. This was my dream. The people I loved most, right beside me." She paused. I felt like I was living the most beautiful period of my life. Everything with Chris was perfect. Work was good. Some weekends, Chris and I would go visit my family, and they loved him so much. I felt like I was at my peak. One evening, he invited me to a nice place for dinner. "Is Jennifer coming?" I asked. "No, just the two of us," he said. I understood right then. Apart from spontaneous meetups, Jennifer was always with us. "Wear your prettiest dress," he said. I laughed, got ready. My hands and feet were trembling with excitement. We had dinner. We opened a nice bottle of wine. And suddenly he got down on one knee in front of me and said, "Will you marry me?" "What did you feel?" I cried. "From happiness." "How did you tell Jennifer?" I called her right away, before we even left the restaurant. She paused. She cried. I cried. Both of us. Her eyes filled. Now I understand why she cried. "How were the wedding preparations?" I asked. "Beautiful. Hectic, but beautiful." Alicia told me. Venue searches, invitations, wedding dress fittings. Hours spent with her mother, meetings with Chris's family, list after list of things to do. Jennifer was by my side through everything. By my side when I tried on dresses. By my side when choosing bridesmaid dresses. "I couldn't have done any of this without you," I said to her one day. What did she say? She laughed. "I'm always here," she said. She paused. "I'm always here." She repeated that sentence. But this time, her voice was different. "How was the morning of the wedding day?" I asked. "It started beautifully. My mother was with me. She cried while my hair was being done. I cried too when the makeup was finished. From happiness." She paused. Jennifer hadn't arrived yet. I sent a message. No answer. I called. No answer. "What did you think?" "She must be on her way," I said. "She's probably stuck in traffic. Weddings are chaotic. Delays happen." But time passed. There was very little time left before the ceremony. Jennifer still wasn't there. I looked over at Chris at that point, from a distance. He was talking to someone, but he seemed distracted. His eyes were elsewhere. What did you think? Wedding nerves, I said. Normal. She clasped her hands together. Then I went to the bathroom. She paused. The room went quiet. And I said gently, while walking down the corridor, I heard Chris's voice. While walking down the corridor, I heard Chris's voice, said Alicia. I was passing in front of a room. The door was ajar. She paused. He was on speakerphone. Her hands tensed. At first I didn't stop. I kept walking. But then I heard a word. Which word? Jennifer. Alicia closed her eyes. I stopped. I didn't breathe. I listened. Tell me what you heard, I said gently. Jennifer was crying, almost shouting. Cancel it, she was saying. If you don't, I'll come and tell everyone everything. Everything we've been through. How many years we've been through it. She paused. And then, I'll hurt myself, she said. The room went quiet. What did Chris say? I asked. Don't be ridiculous, he said. His voice was trembling. Not now. Everyone's inside. We'll talk later. Alicia's voice had gone flat. Right at that moment, music started playing outside. She placed her hands on her knees. The ceremony was starting. Stop for a moment. In a wedding dress, in the corridor, in front of that door. A woman who had just heard everything. And just a few steps away, everyone waiting for her. What did you feel in that moment? I asked. Nothing. I mean, everything. At the same time. She paused. My legs trembled. I leaned against the wall. I stood there for a few seconds. Then, I fixed my face. Her voice broke, and I walked. How did the wedding go? I asked. I don't know. She paused. I mean, my body was there. I smiled. I danced. I said thank you. But I wasn't there. Did you look at Chris? At one point I did. He looked at me too. Her voice flattened. We both knew, but we didn't say anything. Everyone was around us. What happened that night? We went back to the hotel. Chris said he was tired. I just sat there for a long time. I didn't say anything. She paused. Then I asked, why didn't Jennifer come? I said, why didn't she answer my calls? What did Chris say? He tried to brush it off. I don't know. Maybe she got sick, he said. Alicia lifted her head. I said. I heard everything in the corridor. Silence. He confessed. Her voice trembled when she said those two words. How long? I asked. It started before I moved to Los Angeles. While I was far away. Her eyes filled. While I was far away. Sometimes the heaviest truths come in the shortest sentences. While I was far away. Alicia must have thought back to that time. The counted days, the long phone calls, the times every visit felt like a goodbye. And what was happening behind all those days? What did you do in the morning? I asked. I woke up while Chris was sleeping. I took my bag. I left the hotel. She paused. I came here. The room went quiet. Alicia, I said, you heard everything in that corridor. You knew, but you walked. She looked at me. Why did you walk? She was quiet for a long time. I thought of my mother, she said. My father. The guests. The cost of everything. Jennifer. She paused. I thought of Jennifer. She had said she'd hurt herself in case something happened. Her voice broke. I walked for the woman who betrayed me. Tears ran down her face. She didn't stop them. The question isn't, why did you walk? I said, the question is, what are you going to do now? Alicia looked at me for a long time. I don't know, she said. I know, I said, but you'll find out. That day, Alicia didn't make a decision. But for the first time, instead of asking that question to someone else, she asked it to herself. And sometimes, that's enough. To begin, sometimes the purpose of therapy isn't to heal you. It's to leave you alone with the question, James,